Welcome back to 24 days of movement and consciousness snacks. I'm Egwin from Qigong Systems, and today I'm going to show you a nice little exercise that actually comes out of the Qigong department that is designed to help you with getting into a spiral flow that helps you to release tension in the shoulder, and it really helps to mobilize the whole body. It's a very nice exercise. It's not that simple, but anyway, we're gonna work through it. Let me show you how it looks like. First, from here, we'll come back with the arm, roll the arm in, and then let it drop back to the front. You can do this in a rather short stance like I just did. You can go a lot deeper if you wish. So this is what this exercise roughly looks like. Now let me try and explain what we are doing. First things first, what's the arm doing? I'm gonna position myself in a slightly turn to the side manner. So if you take a look at my feet, they're not parallel this time. My right foot is turned out a little bit more to the right side. And my right hand is actually resting down here, palm facing upwards. First thing that happens, I'm going to look directly into my palm. And I'm going to continue looking in my palm when my whole upper arm is coming higher as well. The importance in a movement of the upper arm lifting higher than shoulder height is extreme. Why? Because especially when we move the arm higher than shoulder height to the side of the body, that's when the scapula, the shoulder blade, actually starts to engage. If we just leave the arm in pretty much shoulder height level, then there is no rotation happening in my shoulder blade. In this case, we definitely want this. We want this arm, this upper arm, go higher than our shoulders. We want our scapula to actually rotate on the back of my right side and come over. Now obviously there is a point when I can't move my arm any higher. Now that's when my palm actually starts to decline and my elbow finishes pretty much the movement. Now I'm really quite extended between my right elbow and my right foot, my right toes. So this is the longest line in my body right now, from here all the way down to my right foot. Let's go back to the arm. I'm gonna look into my palm. I'm gonna turn my body facing the camera. I'm gonna turn my body back to the front when the right side is coming higher even, and my right elbow rises over. From here, it's as if the fingers were leading, pointing towards my, my armpit here. And from here, I just simply let go of the arm. Here it is again. We had it in some cases already. If you know my channel, you know there is a lot where I talk about release rather than action. And in this specific case, we have something similar. We build up tension, we build up a certain posture, and then the next action is simply a release action and not a tension action. A tension action would mean I come up with my arm and then I push the arm back down. And while I can do this, it is a completely different biomechanical version of what we are trying to do. When I come up here and I turn to the front, now notice there is also, if we take a look at it from the front, an external rotation happening in my shoulder. That's the position my arm is in up here. However, due to my intention extent of the fingers leading down here, when I let go of the arm in this position, it will drop down and it will naturally unfold itself. It will unspiral, unwrap itself. Now let's try this. Let's just try this without anything else. Just bring the arm up, facing towards you, then lift the elbow even higher. And once again, take a look at this. I'm not lifting my elbow in front of my body, then the arm is just simply gonna flap back down. I'm going to look at my arm on the right. I'm gonna bring the elbow up and over from the right side. Gonna leave my fingers in my armpit, and from here, when I let go of the arm, it will fall down. Let me slow-mo this movement for you. From here, the arm will simply fall down, but it will unwrap until once again the palm is turning away from the body and then back in the rebound action of the arm. And this release action is what's happening throughout the whole body. There is one specific point in the movement when all the tense muscles, all the muscles that I use to build tension towards the maximum point is released at the same time, which makes for this fluid movement back to the right side. Now what's happening with my legs? Left leg is in the rear, right foot is in the front. You can do this exercise in a very, very short stance. It's more fun when you do it in a bigger one, but I suggest start in a small one, maybe double shoulder width, something like that. We start out with the weight more in the right leg than in the left. Again, what we talked about applies. The knees should always be aligned with the toes, nothing else here. Now from here, my weight is slightly more in the right leg than it is in the left. I move backwards, and while I move backwards, I rotate my hip to the left. And I move my weight so far backwards, I need to bend the rear leg to actually facilitate this movement until my right side of the body is in line with my right leg. And eventually, my right arm is in line with my right body side, with the right side of my body and my right leg as well. And from here, when I let go, this is what happens in the body. My right hip drops back. And my left knee opens to the front, meaning in the direction of the left toes. And simply by doing that, if I do not hold my front foot tight, I will be pushed back to the front. Because from here, now I have this pulling or pushing back to the left. In this position, with my hip turned to the left side, I have pre-tension in certain muscle groups that try to pull my hip back. Plus, to turn my hip to the left, I need to work against gravity. Now, when I just let go of my hip, it will naturally rotate back to the center. There's one more thing to it. When I let go of my left knee and my right leg, the tension in the left knee and the right leg as well. So the left knee just gets this idea of direction towards the left toes. Then this is the movement that's following. It turns, it literally turns me back. There is not a lot I have to do. A little bit of control is necessary, but anyway, most of it can actually happen by just releasing in the correct timing points and directions. Now let's bring this movement together. The right arm is down here, facing me. Now I look at my right hand. When the elbow comes up, I'm turning to the side. I'm still looking sort of at my hand, just angling down with my eyes. Now the left palm rolls in, the left fingers roll in. And when I let go in the shoulder, I also let go in my hip and allow this back, this rebound action that's taking me back to the right side. I'm going to show you this once more in flow. from here, come back, turn to the left, right arm rises up, release, and come back to the right side. Come in, come up, turn to the left, release, and come back to the right. There is a second movement aspect that we could do with the left arm in the original exercise. I'm not going to talk about this right now. I'm just going to show you a different angle so that you have more idea of how to actually perform this exercise. It is a more complex one, but anyway, I thought, why not? Why not? It's also a very nice one if it really works. And again, the only thing you have to be careful with is that your knees do not turn to the inside and leave their alignment with the toes. Most important thing here. So from this position, I'm going to show you just a different angle here. I'm moving back, turn to the left, come up. Now I let go of the arm and my hips. And I come back to the front. I move back. Now I have this alignment of the right foot, the right leg, the right side of my body. My right upper arm and elbow is the elbow, and the right toes are the longest line in the body. And I let go back to the front. Coming in and back out front. Coming in and back out front. This is how this exercise is done. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment box below. Let me know what you think about more complex movement patterns like this. I know they would need more work. If you're interested in them, then let me know, because then I might do a full tutorial about that. Let's see how we go from here. However, in those more complex movement patterns, a lot of biomechanical basic principles are hidden, which is exactly why I bring them in here. We've talked a lot about tension release, about the intent to give intent to the joint direction and stuff like that, rather than trying to force the muscle on a joint. We talked about those principles a lot. And this is one of the more complex applications of it in still an exercise that is purely based in natural movement. And so, yeah, if you have questions, leave them in the comment box below. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna put a much simpler exercise to tomorrow so that everyone has fun with those 24 days of movement and consciousness. Have a wonderful time. Thank you. Goodbye.